stream has no problems, and that way I'll be able to go live for the entire issues, that being the live stream buffering or at times screen just for no reason flashing, screen orientation is locked or whatnot. Actually, something for a second because I see this table is way off. Sorry guys, I gotta do something for a second. I think it is a little bit. Okay guys, that table was way off. was way off. So now one like. Thank you. Hey, Austin. Glad you could make it. For a like. I'm pretty sure that was you that liked, so thank you. And how's everybody doing? Yeah, thank you. But how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing great. Let's get on with the show, and let's start off with Monday Night Raw. Let me just do this. Swim my hat back. We're like doing it that way every now and then. I'm doing great. Let's start out with Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw started out with Seth freaking Rollins. He was out there. He was in the bank, hyping up his qualifying match that would be in the main event of the show against Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. This was obviously, I knew this was probably going to be a great match. And kind of figured who was going to win the match. Danny. Hey, Danny. Oh, Danny. Don't know if you heard, but some sad news last night. Some sad news yesterday involving a former MASH talent star, a former actor from the TV show MASH. They apparently died yesterday, and I was like, oh man, I liked her. Major. Yeah. Major Margaret Hot Lips. Ooh, Anne. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in peace to Margaret Anne, aka Hot Lips, aka Loretta Swit. Yeah. Don't know if you heard that, Danny, but I just thought I'd let you know because you keep track of some of those things. Because I've seen some posts on your community tab where you were like rest in peace to a certain person that's like famous or whatnot. So I didn't know if you knew that already, but yeah, Seth Rollins. This was basically, it was good. We got a reason from Paul Heyman as to why Bronson Reed is now officially in the groups, because if you didn't see it, Saturday night's main event was this past Saturday, last week, and ooh. Oh my gosh, Danny, you are hilarious. Don't ever change. Don't ever change, please. Okay, just let me do something for a second. Okay. Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, if you didn't watch Saturday night's main event, which was last week, Sami Zayn and CM Punk opened the show in a tag team match against Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. The match ended with Seth Rollins and his team, Braun Breaker, getting the win after Bronson Reed attacked CM Punk from out of nowhere. He's now back after being out with an injury since last year. So congratulations to him, and you know what? I'm happy he's back. I was worried at first as to why he was joining the group. Like no more than like months and months ago, Bronson Reed was like hitting 6 tsunamis on the Seth Rollins. Now all of a sudden we're just supposed to believe that he's gonna be this badass. No, that's not tonight. No, that's not tonight, Austin. That's next week. Next week's Money in the Bank, because next week's also Worlds Collide. So which will be on YouTube, streamed exclusively on YouTube. After this opening, we got Liv Morgan is back. We were in a backstage segment with the Judgment Day. Roxanne Perez was backstage with the Judgment Day. Then Liv Morgan shows up and is like, "Hey Dom, like what's been going on since I've been gone? Filming a movie, just so you know." And he like tries to explain it and everything, and she's like, "I get it, Dom, I get it. Like, look, I'm not mad. I don't know. Something's going on." And Finn Balor is just eating every bit of this up because he is literally like smiling with the most obnoxious smile you could ever hope to have. Like he's grinning like a Cheshire cat, just eating every bit of this up. It's like, yeah, almost as if this is his plan. He's driving a wedge between the Judgment, between Dom and Finn potentially, or at the very least, because I feel like all of this that's been going on recently between Finn and Dom, and it's just building towards a split between Dom and the Judgment Day. Whether or not this also leads, whether this leads to Dom and Liv going their separate ways, or whether this leads to Dom turning into a triple heel, turning on Liv for Roxanne Perez, which is a possibility, but I don't know. It's something to consider, and it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what the end result of this is, or ends up being. We didn't got Jey Uso. He's backstage. For Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn comes in. He's in his locker room. Sami Zayn comes in and tells Jey Uso that he's got his back, which is great considering they are friends. It makes sense that Sami Zayn would have Jey Uso's back in any situation. Just say. After this, though, we get our first match of the night. It's a Money in the Bank qualifier. Chad Gable versus Penta. I don't see Andrew. Where's Andrew? Okay, I only see you, Austin. I don't know if there's anybody else that's here, but I only see you at the moment. It's Chad Gable versus Penta El Zero Miedo. versus Chad Gable with Penta versus Dragon Lee. Sorry if my attention seems diverted a little bit, but it is what it is. This match went about 14 minutes, and I'm gonna say it. This may have been one of the best of the qualifying matches we've gotten so far. But then again, then the main event happened. And I was like, oh, that was another great qualifying match for Money in the Bank. We got at one point Dragon Lee. I mean, I think it's all three of them. Two of the men are outside of the ring. Chad Gable and Penta. Dragon Lee comes flying out of nowhere like Superman, just drives Chad Gable over the announce table, like whoa, Mexican Superman just coming out of nowhere, just boom, flying. Like, damn. Chad Gable took so many bumps in this match. It was insane. And I was like, by the end of the match, I was like, damn, Chad, I'm surprised he's still alive following that match. Like no question. I was like, damn, I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. At least once. But as much as I wanted Chad Gable to win the match, and as much as I thought Chad Gable needed to win this match, he lost. Penta won the match. I guess I'm okay with that, but who knows? Did he really need to be in this match? Debatable. But I guess Chad Gable's never gonna really be a main event star in WWE or win a world title or just any title for that matter. The way they've been booking Chad Gable as of late, I just don't think there's any hope for him ever winning a singles title, whether it be a mid-card or a world title. He's basically everything you want in at least a mid-card champion. So why they haven't just given him a shot at the Intercontinental title and let him win it is beyond me. But it was a great match. After this, we got Liv Morgan backstage with Raquel Rodriguez. I'm guessing she has already spoken with Adam Pearce because she said earlier in the backstage segment with Dominic and the rest of Judgment Day she was going to Adam Pearce to get a match made for her, a qualifying match, to get herself a qualifying match for Women's Money in the Bank. So she is to say. And so I'm guessing she has now gotten that match made for her. And now she's backstage with Raquel. Then she runs into Kairi Sane, which then eventually obviously leads to a match being made official later on in the show. Then we get Jey Uso. He's out there. He's talking about Saturday night's main event, talked about John Cena, talked about Logan Paul, and about his friend Cody Rhodes. He also had some stuff to say about his upcoming opponent on the Raw following Money in the Bank, which is Gunther. And Gunther comes out. Cuts a promo, and it's not the best stuff that I've heard from either man, but the match should be good, and I think we could see an interference in this match from Goldberg on Gunther. So, I hope. Jay's not losing to Gunther, okay? Gunther's not winning the world title back from Jey Uso. There's no question about it that he's not doing that. We're getting Goldberg at some point this year. That's been made official, basically been made official. And I think it's going to be against Gunther. Goldberg would be just as good. Braun Breaker would be just as good of a retirement match because basically they're the same person. We've seen Braun use the spear. I've seen Braun use the jackhammer on more than one occasion, and he's basically, and it's that would be a great match to see. Ooh, man. After this segment, though, we got Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan. This match lasted about 13 minutes. It was a really good match, and Kairi Sane actually wins the match. I was shocked, but Roxanne Perez at one point stops Kairi from performing a move. I think it was from the top rope, but also Raquel was out there, and she sort of fumbled it at the same time for Liv, and Kairi Sane was able to get the win. And Liv Morgan is obviously shocked and is obviously pissed off. Post match, she obviously looks pissed off that she lost to someone like Kairi Sane. Lost period. Yeah. After this, we got a Rhea Ripley. Video package. She is basically talking about Money in the Bank, and now she's calling herself Mommy in the Bank, which I don't think Rhea Ripley wins Money in the Bank this year. She doesn't need to be in the match. Does she need to be in the match? No. Is she going to win the match? That's debatable. She is the biggest star in the match, but I still think that there is someone else who's going to win the match, and I will talk about that when I get to SmackDown. Then we get, after this, we got Chad Gable backstage. He's backstage talking with El Hijo de Vikingo, who will be facing Chad Gable at Worlds Collide for the AAA Mega Championship. Now, he cost Chad Gable, quote unquote, the win in that Money in the Bank qualifying match because he was out there with Chad Gable, out there in the crowd match. And so he's backstage mouthing off at him for costing him this match. Then out of nowhere, AJ Styles just clocks our right hand in Chad Gable's face and just starts talking to him and just starts bad mouthing him, telling him that he needs to stop don't get involved in his business. Okay, that's weird. We're getting, after this, we got Rusev versus Tozawa. Well, this match was a squash. Didn't last much long at all. Nothing to say about this match. Post-match, we got Sheamus coming out. Sheamus coming out to confront Rusev, which I thought was genius because Rusev and Sheamus were once in a faction known as the League of Nations, included Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, and Wade Barrett. It was a interesting faction. Pretty darn good, if I do say so myself, and it was a pretty darn good faction. And so, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Nothing happened. No hands were thrown. Rusev just got out of there and was like, no, I'm not going to engage in these fans and what they want. Fans are fanning, we want fight. But clearly Rusev was like, no, not happening. I am not giving these fans what they want. Not good for you, Rusev. Then we got Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, they had another promo exchange. This was another great promo exchange from them. This feud has been probably one of the better booked women's feuds of 2025. As you can tell, they have good chemistry between each other. Obviously, they now have a rematch made official for Money in the Bank, which is for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. There's a stipulation on this match that if Becky loses, she can't challenge for that title any longer. She can't go after the title anymore. She has to give up and let someone else have a chance. And if Becky wins, she wants Lyra to shake her hand. Well, the stipulation that if Becky loses, she doesn't get another opportunity for the title is already just making me feel like, okay. They wanted Lyra to win the first match, and now they're gonna have Becky win the second one, the rematch. So that's okay by me. I think Becky holding the title would definitely bring a lot of prestige to the title, but then again, to be honest, it doesn't really matter who holds the title, it's how they're booked, okay? You could book Charlotte Flair, of all people, to hold the Women's Intercontinental title, and it still wouldn't feel the same, and still wouldn't feel important because the creative would have to be important. They would have to make the book Charlotte Flair to make the title seem important, and we all know how Charlotte Flair can't stand to be how WWE books Charlotte Flair, so that's wouldn't happen. So hopefully Becky Lynch is able to do something special with that title should she win it. We also got a triple threat match for the World Tag Team titles. New Day versus Creed Brothers versus War Raiders. I wanted the Creed Brothers to win. I want the Creed Brothers to win Tag Team Gold at some point this year. It has to happen. I'm sorry, but it has to happen, or I'm giving up on the Creeds. Because the Creed Brothers are too good, and they can't be just sitting here. They've been on the main roster now for over a year. October of 2023, I think, was when they made their unofficial debut, and then following their match at Halloween Havoc 2023 on the Halloween Havoc edition of NXT in 2023 in that Tables, Ladders, and Scares match, I feel like they were destined to be tag team champions at some point. They are too good to not. You're literally making one of your best tag teams look like jokes by losing every single match they're in because they're heels, and heels aren't supposed to win. Well, why can't heels just win every now and then, okay? You're making Chad Gable look like a joke. You're making Ivy Nile look like a joke. American Made is great, but they're not booked correctly. They're not booked properly. They are not booked to look like threats. They're booked to look like the type of people who like to complain about losing, but then when it comes to actually winning a match, they just can never seem to do it. Oh yeah, they complain a lot about losing and about not getting opportunities, but when they get those opportunities, they lose, but then they want to complain again as if like, just have American Made win, god damn it. Please. Well, New Day win due to, now we did get New Day and Creed Brothers going in a sort of like a mutual partnership against the War Raiders, but once the War Raiders were essentially out of it, New Day basically showed their true colors and like, we don't care. We don't care about the Creed Brothers. Well, yeah, we appreciate them, and yes, we would love to see them get more opportunities instead of the War Raiders, but we're not giving them. We don't care. We're just out here for us, not for anybody else but us. And so they won via a roll-up on the Creed Brothers, which I guess protected them from having to take a finisher. But still, they should not have had to lose this match. They shouldn't have had to be pinned in this match. Now I know War Raiders will probably use the "you didn't pin us" moniker to get another rematch because they didn't get pinned in that match. And likely the War Raiders will use that as an excuse to get another match. Like you didn't pin us in that match. No, you got your rematch. Move on. There has to be other tag teams that can challenge the New Day for the titles, not just War Raiders, okay? There's a reason why the SmackDown Tag Team division is doing great, because there are so many tag teams, all of which could challenge for the tag team titles, and all of which have been booked to almost perfection. With the Raw Tag Team division, there's the Creed Brothers, there's Alpha Academy, which isn't even a tag team anymore, it's just a comedy tag team group that doesn't even matter anymore. You've got the War Raiders and then the Creeds. Basically 4 tag teams. You could do Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That would be a good tag team for the tag team division, maybe, if they decide to go down that route. But some might say it's a step down for both guys, considering they were both given pretty significant pushes upon their main roster debuts, or in Bronson Reed's case, re-debut in like 2024 when he had a big push in like the summer and fall. But hey, it is what it is. We also got the main event, Money in the Bank qualifying match. Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. Another great qualifying match. This was a good qualifying match. Very good. I did not know who was going to win this match, but I was hoping maybe, but I knew Seth Rollins was going to win. No matter who was in this match, I knew Seth Rollins was going to win. That is what happened. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at one point came out to take out Sami Zayn. Jey Uso came out, but then he also got taken out. This led to Judgment Day coming out. Dominic Mysterio slides a chair into the ring via the no DQ situation because of a triple threat match to help Finn Balor, but it backfired. As soon as Finn Balor went for the chair, Seth Rollins immediately capitalized, hit a curb stomp on the chair. Finn Balor takes the pin, 1, 2, 3. I did not see Finn Balor doing anything else in this match other than taking the pin. That's exactly why he was there, and congrats to Seth Rollins. But it is what it is. A great, good, very, very good episode of Monday Night Raw. If I had to rate it, I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10. Wasn't perfect, but it was really good. Now on to NXT. NXT was some would call it a shocking episode. One of the most shocking episodes in recent memory. Just because we had 2 title changes on the show, both of which apparently stunned a lot of fans. Well, one more than the other, because the opening segment / match of the night was Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page for the North American Championship. I didn't know who was going to win this match, considering I could have seen either one of those 2 winning the match and the title, but we got Ethan Page, shocking a lot of people. Ricky Saints, I'm guessing they're just shocked because Ricky Saints won the title going into WrestleMania 41 weekend, and he's only held the title now for almost a year, only like a month. For only like a month, and he's already lost the title. So I'm guessing that's why people were shocked, because he's only held the title for a month and he's already losing it to Ethan Page. But then again, I could see Ethan Page Now, as far as Ethan Page holding the title, I feel like this might actually be better than his run as NXT champion because I didn't necessarily believe in Ethan Page as NXT champion, and I know a lot of people felt the same way. So maybe this time around, he can actually be booked as a credible North American champion because I feel like that's where he might actually be better at, is being a mid card champion. But I guess he can say that, yes, I've been an NXT champion. He can put that on his resume. But yeah, went about 14 minutes. Great match. Great match, but eventually Ricky Saints lost. It was okay. It was okay. We got, after this, we got JC Jane out. She was being interviewed. And again, this episode of NXT, we got Jasmine Nix back, who I think has been injured, was injured as of late, but we haven't gotten her. We haven't gotten her back as of late. So, but hey, we got her back now. So hey, congrats to her for coming back after an injury. JC Jane says that she wants Fallon Henley out there, but that also she really doesn't need Fallon out there to win, but she's willing to accept Fallon Henley out there if she does decide to come out there with her for support, and obviously to interfere should she have to. After this one, we go backstage also with Stephanie Vaquer, and Ava, who informs Stephanie that she will face that also last week, if you didn't watch it, was NXT Battleground. Now, apparently, I'm not even going to pronounce their names, but they are two women who are AAA talent, who apparently know Stephanie Vaquer. They were shown in the crowd during Stephanie's match against Jordynne Grace, and at the end of the show, she was seen backstage. They went backstage as she was arguing with them before JC Jane landed a kick to Stephanie Vaquer, which led to her match on this night against Stephanie for the title. She'll be facing those two women, and that she needs a partner for Worlds Collide. Whole device obviously comes into focus, and I was like, you don't have to look any further, Stephanie. I'm your partner. So we're getting Lola Vice and Stephanie Vaquer versus these two luchadors at Worlds Collide. Should be an interesting match. Should be an interesting match. Next, we got Mike Santana making his official NXT / WWE debut. He takes on Tavion Heights of No Quarter Catch Crew in a pretty decent match. Lasted about 10 minutes. Mike Santana likes to call himself a Boricua badass from the Bronx. Okay, great. Obviously, Mike Santana won this match. I did not see him losing at all, but it is what it is. He won. Congrats to him. We got Yoshiki. After this, we got Yoshiki Inamura. We got Josh Briggs backstage. Yoshiki Inamura, his friend and tag team partner, comes in. Josh is like, I thought you had gone back to Japan. I thought you went back to Japan. Yoshiki said, yes, I did actually, but I came back. But I came back. And he apparently has big plans for him and Josh Briggs. Big, 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 big. Big plans. He made it clear that they were big plans that he had planned. Great. Whatever. Then we get Chase U backstage. We also get Chase U backstage. They are Uriah Connors and Kale Dixon. They are talking with Chase U, with Andre Chase. Andre Chase is trying to tell them that you really shouldn't be just looking for fights and looking for matches just because you feel like you have to prove yourself to me. For me. That's how you got a match with OTM last week. And he also tells them that they need to learn when to scale back and when to not take risks. But obviously these two goofs decided to think that he meant take more risk. Okay, take more risk. And then Ava comes by, so they immediately run to her and ask for an opportunity next week, which she is more than happy to give them a shot, because she was looking over the run through for next week's show and realizes she doesn't have a spot that isn't filled yet, so she decided to give them a tag team match against Dark State. Great, guys. You guys, Uriah Connors, Kale Dixon, they are way too weaker to prove themselves to Mr. Chase. And they are going to get absolutely murdered. If they weren't murdered by OTM, come on. After this, we got Trick Williams. Coming out. He is the new TNA World Champion, and I cannot believe I'm saying that. I can't believe I'm saying it. Trick Williams is new NXT TNA World Champion. Okay, what happened to my live stream? Time to put you in timeout, mister. And hide you on my channel. Yeah, time to put you in timeout, Timeout, Moxley. And he's defending me because he has every right to, and he can do whatever the hell, and Danny can do whatever the hell Danny wants to do. And Danny can do whatever the hell Danny wants to do. You can't, it's not like you can tell Danny who you can defend, who you can't defend. But enough of that. So let's get back to the show. Trick Williams, he runs down his opponent, runs down his match, talks about his match at Battleground against Joe Hendry. Talks about being bigger than NXT. Now he's going to go over to TNA and run that division just like he ran the NXT division when he was the NXT champion. It is what it is. I am going to be interested. Should be interesting. And then we got Mike Santana, who won his match earlier against Tavion Heights. He came out there and cut a promo basically saying that he doesn't appreciate what Trick Williams is doing right now, just holding TNA hostage with that world championship, and how he's not going to let Trick Williams hold that title 1 second longer. This then leads to Santino Marella coming out to make the match official next week, and that he has talked with Ava, and that the match will happen Mike Santana versus Tricky Williams next week for the TNA the championship. And so that match should be good. I do see Trick Williams winning that match via some sort of shenanigans or whatnot. I just don't think I see Mike Santana winning that title just yet. Maybe he wins it at another date. I don't know what TNA's plans are for Trick Williams as champion, because I don't watch TNA nearly as much as I watch WWE. So it is what it is there. We also got Jasper Troy. Jasper Troy, who was the recent winner. Yeah. Oh, hey, Danny. I don't know if you watched Battleground last week, but we have a new NXT World Champion, and his name is not Joe Hendry. It is Trick Williams. Yeah, we're going to have to start believing in Trick Williams now. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We got Jasper Troy, the recent winner of WWE LFG. He was on Team Booker, apparently, even though apparently Undertaker won the whole entire season as the. But hey, we got Jasper Troy, his debut match against Dante Chen, and this match lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. It lasted 4 minutes. I thought this match would last maybe 2 minutes tops. But it is what it is. It was a good match. It was a decent match for what it was supposed to be, a squash match basically to hype up Jasper Troy. Okay. I'll see you tonight on BBB's live stream. I believe that you need to be put out of your misery. Whoever. Mox. After the match, Obafemi decided to was on the balcony where wrestlers are who can watch matches. The balcony where wrestlers will tend to stand there and watch matches and whatnot. It's been there since I remember watching NXT. So it's like he's up there and he cuts a promo on Jasper Troy. He commends Jasper Troy for having the guts to go after him last week, but also notes that he failed because he didn't keep because Oba's still here standing, and that when you target me, you better make sure I stay down. But that ain't gonna happen because I don't stay down. So obviously we're gonna probably get Jasper Troy versus Obafemi at some point within the next month or so. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's bound to happen. And I don't know Jasper Troy hardly at all, but I'll get to know him because I'm able to watch NXT on the CW, so I'll be able to watch it and I'll be able to see what he's capable of and if he's any good. We also get Tatum Paxley versus Jada Parker. Recently, Tatum Paxley has been an emotional wreck after her quote-unquote friends have left her, or in this case, released from their contracts. In regards to Shotzi and Gigi Dolan, they both so hey, it is what it is. We got and Jada wins. Match went about 4 minutes. Wasn't anything special, but it is what it is. Then we got Ethan Page, who also decided to make a second appearance on the show following his win, which I was a little bit surprised by. I didn't know we'd see Ethan Page twice. Then again, when Trick Williams came out to talk about his win at Battleground, I knew Mike Santana was probably going to show up because that seems to be and obviously that's Trick Williams' first opponent. Should be a good match though. But Ethan Page talked about his win earlier on tonight and how it feels great. Shut up, Mox. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Get the hell out of my live stream because you ain't wanted. You can make all the fake accounts you want. You can make all the fake accounts you want, but it just won't work. I will time you out every single time. I will block you every single time, and you will be forced to watch as I'm still here on YouTube. Then Javon Evans comes out. Javon Evans comes out and hypes up Worlds Collide, noting that he's going to be defending that title. Also, according to what Ava said, the winner of the Ethan Page Ricky Saints match was going to defend the title at Worlds Collide. So basically, Javon Evans has come out to announce that he's going to be facing Ethan Page for the title. But there's one more person that's going to be in this match. In comes Laredo Kid, who is a former AAA star and a current TNA star. Like, holy hell. And then Javon decides to say, well, that's not all. You still got one more person facing you for that title at Worlds Collide. Out comes Rey Fenix. So now it's basically official. Ethan Page will be defending his title in a fatal 4-way at Worlds Collide against Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Rey Fenix. Okay, that match should be amazing. Then we get the main event. We also got the main event, which is Stephanie McCurr versus JC Jane for the NXT Women's title. To say this match was a shocker, the match finish was a shocker, is no, yeah. It was a shocker in the main event. We got Stephanie McCurr dropping the women's championship to JC Jane, a fatal influence. I would have taken Fallon Henley over JC Jane, but that's the way it is. We got Mariah May, who is now officially said to be joining a WWE since her contract with AEW is soon to expire within the next few weeks or so, and she has now since been removed from AEW's roster page. So on their website. So it's basically, and apparently we're going to be getting Jordynne Grace and Stephanie McCurr called up to the main roster. Stephanie the Raw joined the SmackDown. That's probably why, is because they're making room for Mariah May to come in and be the new face of the women's division, which, I mean, it's okay. I think it's actually refreshing that she's going to be starting in NXT, because I feel like she could benefit from it. NXT would definitely benefit from it, because they've now lost four of their top talents in the span of only a month. So it is what it is, but hey. JC Jane won, 13-minute match. It was about 13 minutes. Good match. Man, I didn't think she was going to win, but it is what it is. I'll rate NXT 7 out of 10. It was good. The main event may not have been my cup of tea just because of who won and how the match ending went down, but it was a shocker, to say the least. Everything else was pretty darn good, though, so it is what it is. Then we got AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite was a up and down show. This week's show was up and down. there were some notable botches, so I'll get to them in a minute. The opening, though, saw Hangman Adam Page come out to address his win in the finals of the Owen Hart Men's Tournament Finals. So that means he will face Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title at All In, which will be in July, which is apparently going head to head with an AEW with I think it's Evolution 2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure exactly, but it is what it is. We also got we get Swerve coming out, which I was a little surprised to see Swerve come out, considering their history, it doesn't surprise me at all. Then Will Ospreay comes out and is like, look, guys, I know you two have your problems, but that's exactly what the Death Riders are probably hoping for, is that at some point you'll just, and I think from what's going on is that Swerve Strickland is afraid that that Hangman Adam Page is working with the Young Bucks. That's why he doesn't want to work with Hangman right now, is because he feels that Hangman is colluding with the Young Bucks, which isn't happening. I think I can tell you that right now. He isn't colluding with the Young Bucks. But that hasn't stopped Swerve from wanting to think that. Will Ospreay is telling Swerve and Hangman that they need to work together if any of us have any chance of beating the Death Riders and taking that title, that AEW World Championship back, bringing it back into AEW for the fans, that they need to work together and as a team and not just. But Swerve Strickland is just like, no, not gonna happen. You will not make me work with this man ever. I'm like, dude, all of that stuff that happened last year with you guys, just get over it. You invaded his house, and then he literally tried to end not just your career but your life. But still, I feel like you need to get over that, Swerve. Okay? It's dead and buried, but apparently you can't forgive. Apparently he's also still sort of perturbed about the moment which saw Hangman burn Swerve's childhood home, which was definitely a shock moment, OMG moment for 2024. 4 likes. Thank you guys. Can we get it to 5? Before this live stream is over with? It's possible, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But hey, we got Big Bill and Brian Keith in a backstage promo segment. They are just looking for an opportunity. After Chris Jericho left, which if I'm not mistaken was due to him having a tour booked for his band Fozzy, which is the reason why he's not there anymore. They're giving him time off, and he's also doing another tour with Fozzy. So congrats to him. Warwick. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that was you, because last time you said you had liked my live stream, but I couldn't see your like. But I don't think your like showed up, but this time it might have. Because I know I had 3 likes earlier, but now I think that like was yours. Thank you for coming. I do appreciate it, guys. We also got the opening match. Jon Moxley, Gabe Kidd, and Marina Shafir versus Willow Nightingale, Mark Briscoe, and Speedball Mike Bailey. This match was okay for what it was. It was good. It wasn't special or anything, but it was good. went about 11 minutes. Not bad. It is what it is. Everbless. Hey, Everbless. If there are certain people in here who have not hit that like button just yet, if you want to, you can do so. It is not required, but I do appreciate it. So thank you guys. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for liking the live stream. Likey. Huh, I don't know. But hey, it's now showing I got 5 likes, so thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, baby. This was a good match. We also got a women's tag team match on the show, and the heels won. Jon Moxley's crew won. The Death Riders won. And we also got a women's tag team match, apparently. We got Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford versus Holly Cameron and Anna Jay. To say this match was good would be a complete lie. There were some notable botches in this match, which led to both Hardy Cameron and Anna Jay getting busted open. Yeah, this match and AEW, and from what I have now heard, AEW is now considering a possible women's tag team division, a possible division for women's tag team wrestling. Like, dude, your roster doesn't exactly have enough women to basically warrant a tag team division, unless you take some of the women that are on Ring of Honor and then bring them up to Dynamite or Collision or whatever to have a women's tag team division. Then I don't know what you plan to do. But AEW is considering adding women's tag team titles to their roster. AEW already has 2 women's titles. AEW women's title and the TBS title. They do not need a third title. That will mean utterly meaningless because its men's tag team division is so poorly booked that who here can safely say to me that AEW is going to book their women's tag team division any better than they booked their men's tag team division? It's something to consider and to talk about, obviously. Then we got Jamie Hayter out there. She is addressing her loss at Double or Nothing, which was the finals of the women's Owen Hart tournament. So the women's match in the Owen Hart tournament finals, where she lost to Mercedes Moné. Good God, Tony Khan is going to book Mercedes to beat Toni Storm, isn't he? I hope I am wrong, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it, and I don't want to see it, but I'm seeing it. After a bit, she gets ambushed by apparently a Talca, whatever her name is, however you say her name, a New Japan Pro Wrestling star, former Stardom star apparently, who was recently fired from Stardom for apparently putting her hands on officials, attacking officials and whatnot. So basically, I don't know what's gonna happen. Whether she's a new, yeah, and I can't wait for certain people to be like, oh, she's so good. She's going to be a game changer in AEW. Who since joining AEW, as far as their women's division have gone, have made even a lick of difference? Besides Toni Storm, who is the only person who has made a bit of difference. Who exactly? Whoever was, I don't know who you're talking about. But it is what it is. Oh, that's Mox. That is Mox. It's Mox. It's the only person I know. It's the only person I can think of. It's the only person I can think of who would even have a reason for making all these fake accounts and would even have a reason to want to come onto my live streams and just shit talk about me. Well, good on you, but I don't know what I don't know what it's gonna do. What it's gonna do. We also got Brody King versus Josh Alexander. This was actually a decent match, but Brody King won and Josh Alexander lost. And Josh Alexander has only been in AW for what, about a month or so, and he's already losing matches. Like, yeah, great, Tony. You offered him you probably offered him a very big paycheck, big fat paycheck, just so you could say that he signed with you and not the other company, Yet you're gonna book him to lose matches yet you're gonna book him to lose matches like this? Oh yeah. Tell me that you signed him only bec- only because you didn't want him going over to the other company. You have no plans to push him and have no plans to do anything significant with him whatsoever. You just want to hold it over WWE's head that, hey, we got Josh Alexander and you didn't. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Good one, Tony. Good one, Tony. Also got Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT title. I thought Kyle Fletcher would win this match. I was hoping Kyle Fletcher would win this match. Now, one point in the match really got me a little upset because Kyle Fletcher went for a power bomb, which I'm more than certain was meant to be on the apron, but Kyle missed it a mile, and the only part of Adam Cole that even hit the apron was the very back of his neck and his head, like bang, and like, oh God, I thought he was dead. He's okay because after the match, and then the Don Callis family gets involved, so it's a DQ finish, or it's a DQ win for Adam Cole, which means Kyle Fletcher doesn't win the title. Now, post match, we saw a backstage segment with Kyle Fletcher, who was very pissed off, especially at the Don Callis family and the members that were there that had helped him, that had gone out there to potentially try and help him win the match. But that backfired. And then also Adam Cole then shows up and is like yelling and screaming at Kyle that you're a dead man and I'm gonna kill you and all this and that. So it looks like he's okay, but I'm just like, dude, be more careful. The guy has a history of concussions and neck problems. Do you really want to put him in a coma or in the hospital? Literally, I don't think he wanted to do that, but I think he just needs to be more careful next time. We also got the main event segment between Timeless Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné, the CEO. This was a great segment. The opening and main event segments were probably the best thing about this show. The match between the trios match with Jon Moxley, Gabe Kidd, Marina versus Willow, Mark, and Mike Bailey was good. Everything else was just... And so it is what it is. They hyped up their match at Double or Nothing. Mercedes even decided to throw a little bit of WWE shade by saying that she is no longer a boss. She is now a CEO. Obviously talking about her former gimmick as the legit boss of WWE. I thought that was pretty just ingenious of Mercedes to sort of slip that in, but it is what it is. Show started great, ended great. Good opening match, but then everything else just fell flat. So I will give it a 6 out of 10 just for the opening, ending, and the first match. It is what it is. Then we got Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown was a mixed bag as well. Some good, some bad. The opening saw Bianca Belair make her return to WWE television for the first time since WrestleMania, where she apparently injured her hand during her triple threat women's match with Rhea and Io on night 2. She came out to, I'm guessing, to what I eventually realized was the Tennessee University fight song for Tennessee University. So it is what it is. So it is what it is. I'm glad she's back. We then got Naomi coming out. She talked about how she's been trying to get in touch with Bianca for a while now, but yet Bianca just hasn't shown up or hasn't responded to any of her calls or texts. And she also recently went to Bianca's parents' house. Nobody was there, so she decided to let herself in. And then she looked through a photo album, which was apparently on the coffee table, as Naomi mentioned. And yeah, this is like creepy. Like now she's breaking and entering. Now she's basically breaking and entering into Bianca's parents' house and going through photo albums. Like, damn, Naomi, she is getting creepy. And apparently, Naomi now has a new hair color, which is red. Now, recently, she has been seen with razor blades in her hair, and now that the razor blades are out, I'm guessing, as far as WWE creative is concerned, it's now turned her hair blood red, which I think the color suits her. I think this new hair color suits her. It looks great on her. She looks great. Naomi has not been presented this strongly in a long time, and I think it's great. She looks great, and I think she's going to win Money in the Bank because this segment segued into the next match, which was Naomi versus Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax for the women's Money in the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match, which she won, and congrats to Naomi. I am giving my early prediction. Naomi wins women's Money in the Bank. As far as men's Money in the Bank is concerned, I'm going with LA Knight. So there's my early predictions for Money in the Bank. After this, we got R-Truth backstage, and he runs into the New Bloodlines, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and JC Mateo. R-Truth says that he's never seen JC Mateo before and wants to know if that's Solo's husky son, which honestly got a big laugh from the crowd. And this basically led to a match being made official. Sorry about that. Then we also get Chelsea Green backstage with Nick Aldis. She wants Nick to suspend Zelina and strip her of her title for the complete travesty that happened at Saturday night's main event. Zelina now is having to wear face masks because her nose got broken at Saturday night's main event after a botched 619, and it's great that she is incorporating this into her character and making something out of it, because I feel like this is perfect for Chelsea Green's character. who likes to complain about everything that just doesn't go her way. And I think it's perfect for a character, and it's working great, and it's great. But Nick tells Chelsea, you have to be cleared by medical first, which I'm guessing has not happened yet. Then Alba Fire steps up and is like, well, if you're not going to give Chelsea the opportunity, then me and Piper will get the job done. So Nick Aldis decides to make the match official between Alba and Zelina Vega for the title. Then we get JC Mateo versus R-Truth. Match was a squash match, basically. Went about 4 minutes, 4 minutes tops. Post-match saw Jimmy Uso and JC Mateo won, obviously. Post-match saw JC and Solo get the win, beat up R-Truth, but then up to Jimmy Uso getting involved. Then JC Mateo starts to beat up on Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa like drags JC off of Jimmy, like, dude, that's my big brother. Like, don't. Like, why are you doing that? What? Hey, get off of him. But that's family. It's like Solo still has a somewhat of a soft side for his family. And even though he is technically a heel, he's still, I'm guessing it's just that he would like Jimmy Uso to come back into the family, to come back and join him and Jacob and now JC Mateo. But you know Jimmy's not going to do that. But hey, it is what it is. We got Street Profits out there. We got the Street Profits who are hyping up their match last week against Fraxium, but they also have something to say in regards to the Wyatt Six, who decided to show up and cause chaos. Then we got Fraxium coming out. They weren't exactly happy about how the match ended either, and they want a rematch. But then the Motor City Machine Guns come out and are like, dude, guys, are you really basing you wanting a rematch on just simply off the case that they didn't technically beat you and pin you in that match? If that's if that's the way we can get tag team title matches nowadays, then you could make the case that we deserve because you've never beaten us. Motor City said to Street Profits, and then DIY come out, and Ciampa decides to hold a moment of silence for the death of the SmackDown Tag Team division. Great. So the SmackDown Tag Team division is dead just because you and Johnny Gargano aren't the tag team champions. Yeah, the SmackDown Tag Team division is on fire right now. Yet, just because you're not champions, that means that the division is dead. It's not dead. It's better than it's ever been. But hey, I get why he's saying that, because they're supposed to be heels and they're supposed to want to be champions, and then they're supposed to want to be the top team in the division. And obviously, to be the top team in the division, you need to hold the titles, which Street Profits have. Then the Wyatt Six show up again, and so I'm like, we already saw this last week. Do we really need to see them again? I mean, it's good that they're booked. They're being booked consistently back to back on television instead of being here 1 week and then being gone for 3 weeks only to show up randomly. Like, but did we really need to see them do this again? After doing it last week, after what they did last week. We also got a video package for Julia, who hyped up her involvement in Women's Money in the Bank. It is what it was. It was what it was. Good stuff from Julia. We also got a men's qualifying match for the Money in the Bank match. That being Andrade El Idolo versus Carmelo Hayes versus Jacob Fatu. Fatu. This match, as expected, was... I knew there was only two people who were probably going to win this match. Jacob Fatu and Carmelo Hayes. Or at least I thought. Obviously, Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo kind of screwed Jacob out of the match. And I thought, okay, Carmelo Hayes is winning. But no, Andrade wins, and I'm like, dude, I did not see that coming. Like, I did not see Andrade winning. I was so certain that Andrade was in this match to take the pin, and Carmelo Hayes lost. Okay, I'm okay with that. It's okay. It's not like Carmelo Hayes had to be in this match, but WWE has been doing not much, hasn't been doing much with him, and I'd say he was better booked in NXT than he currently is being booked on the main roster. But it is what it is. Congrats to Andrade. We also got Javon Evans apparently making his SmackDown debut tonight. He's in a tag team match with Rey Fénix versus Los Garza. This match was great. Also, we got Ethan Page, North American champion over on NXT. He was on commentary. Obviously, this was a match to sort of build up towards his title defense at Worlds Collide against Javon Evans, Rey Fénix, and Laredo Kid of TNA / Triple A, because he is a former Triple A talent as well. It is what it is. It was a really good match, but Javon Evans and Rey Fénix lost to the Los Garza after Ethan Page got involved in the match. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We also got Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire. Match went about 7 minutes, 30 seconds, give or take a few. And Zelina won, which I knew was going to happen. So congrats to Zelina. Nothing special about it. We got Jacob Fatu backstage post-match, in the main qualifying match, and he was not happy about JC Mateo's and Solo Sikoa's involvement in that match, seeing as how he said he didn't need their help to win. I mean, Solo's trying to explain why he needed to be out there, but Jacob's like, no, I didn't need your help, okay? Don't help. Next time, don't help. Let me do it on my own. But knowing Solo Sikoa, he is going to be stubborn and is going to help and is going to want to help next time. And it will probably again cost Jacob Fatu a match. Great. At least Jacob Fatu wasn't pinned in the match, so that's good. Then we got the main event. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul. This was a interesting main event segment. Most of what we got was just whoa and yeeting for basically what seemed like forever. And when John Cena came out, we had like maybe 7 minutes left. Then Logan Paul comes out, and then John Cena brings out Logan Paul, and Logan Paul decides to take up the entire rest of the time talking. And the show ended at least 5 minutes past the usual end time of 11 o'clock. Which is like, whoa, that's usually not happening. They usually don't go over the allotted time. But they did tonight. They did last night. And it was a hit and miss show. Some good, some bad. But it is what it is. If I was to rate Monday SmackDown last night, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10 because there were some things that were good. The opening match, the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match, even though the ending wasn't what I wanted, even though the one, one wasn't what I wanted. The Javon Evans Ray Phoenix tag team match was very good, so I'll just give it a 6.5 out of 10. But SmackDown is 3 hours. It's been hit and miss. We've had maybe like 5 really good SmackDowns since they went to 3 hours. The rest of them have just been bland and boring. I'm sorry. If you like the 3 hour format, good for you. I appreciate the 3 hour format, but I don't like it because I feel like WWE hasn't been able to use the third hour properly. But that's just my opinion. You can like the third hour and like the 3 hour format, and that's okay. But I'm just not a big fan of it because we've only gotten maybe 5 SmackDowns since then that have been really good and really solidly booked all the way through, even through the third hour. But that is it for me. That's it for me. I don't know what's coming up this week for me, but I do want to say that I do have a movie review video that I am going to do next week when it comes to June is coming up tomorrow. So I'll have another movie. I have a movie that I just recently saw this week that I am going to do a review for. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm guessing until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace. Bye, guys.